to talk about chord number 164 cadential and how it leads to chord number 5 to form an imperfect cadence. So 164 basically means it's a second inversion of chord 1, all right? And then that is indicated as 1C. And first inversion is indicated as 1-6 and indicated as 1B. So today we're going to talk about 6-4 cadential, which leads to chord number 5. So 1-6-4 is called the 6-4 cadential because it must be followed by other chord to complete. So it cannot exist on its own. It must be followed by other chord to complete. So the main function of cadential 6-4 is to lead to chord number 5, the dominant triad, to form an imperfect cadence. So make sure when you're using 1-6-4, it must fall on the strong beats. Count 1 or count 3 when you're using in 4/4 time signature. At least has to be stronger beat than the chord number 5. So for example, if you're using chord number 5 on count 4, 1-6-4 has to be stronger beats at least. Yeah, at least has to be on count 3 or of course 1. 1 is always a strong beat. Okay, so let's build up chord 1-6-4 cadential to 5th imperfect cadence. There are several things that you're gonna remember. When you're doing 1-6-4, you make sure you double the 5th. Okay, all right. But 5th chord, you have to double the root. Okay, and then you're gonna have the tonic followed by leading note in the tenor voice. All right. And then I think that's it. Okay, so let's start writing the chord tones of the 5th chord. We're gonna do in G major. So G major has got the F sharp. Yeah, that's it. Now let's build up chord number 1, cadential 6-4 to 5th imperfect cadence. So now we're gonna write down the chord tones of the 5th chord of G major. All right, so G major, so dominant triad of G major is D chord. So D, F sharp, A, and D. So chord number 5, you're gonna double the root, but 1-6-4 cadential, you're gonna double the 5th. All right, so the 1 chord in G major is a G, okay, but we're doubling the 5th, okay, so D. All right, so you're gonna have the 5th note on the bass because this is the second inversion where the 5th note is on the bass. So we're gonna have D on the bass, and then so that's the 5th chord. So they're gonna have the same bass note. All right, and then we're gonna have the tonic followed by leading note in the tenor voice. So that's G, and then followed by the 7th leading note. Okay, all right, and then this is done. Okay, and then we're going to have the common tones and the alto voice. All right, and then B, A in a soprano voice. Okay, all right, so as you can see that the alto is doubling the bass note, but this doesn't consider as a consecutive octave because they're staying at the same note. If they're moving in a parallel motion, then it's going to be considered as consecutive octave, but they're just staying at the same note. So this doesn't consider as consecutive octave. All right, so this is how you build up 1-6-4 cadential to 5th imperfect cadence.